Oklahoma will require teachers from New York, CA to prove they back America First. Oklahoma's new America First teacher certification test will require educators from California and New York to agree with conservative curriculum. Teachers from California and New York who want to work in Oklahoma public schools will be required to pass a certification test to prove they share the state's conservative political values. Regardless of the subject or grade they teach, they'll have to show they know the biological differences between females and males and that they agree with the state's American history standards, which includes elements of a conspiracy theory that the Democratic Party stole the 2020 presidential election from President Donald Trump, which fact-checkers have said are false. The State Department of Education will implement the new certification test for teachers from the two largest Democrat-led states who are teaching things that are antithetical to our standards to ensure newcomers are not coming into our classrooms and indoctrinating kids, Oklahoma Schools Superintendent Ryan Walters said in an interview with USA Today. Walters has dubbed the new requirement an America First certification in reference to one of Trump's political slogans. Oklahoma's Republican Governor Kevin Stitt appointed Walters, a Republican, to the helm of the state's Department of Education in September 2020, and voters then elected him for a second term in November 2022. Oklahoma is offering teaching bonuses that go up to $50,000 to attract teachers from across the nation and has seen a dramatic increase in teachers wanting to come to Oklahoma, Walters said. The new test is meant to ensure they weed out teachers with opposing views from the state standards. The state, like many others, has a persisting teacher shortage. He said the test will only apply to teachers from California and New York, for now, because those states specifically teach lessons that are antithetical to those taught in Oklahoma. A lot of the credit goes to Gavin Newsom, Walters said. He alleged California, under the governor, has implemented lessons on gender theory, and that won't be allowed in Oklahoma schools. The California Healthy Youth Act, passed in 2016, requires that public school lessons across the state must be inclusive of LGBTQ students and same-sex relationships and teach students about gender, gender expression, gender identity, and explore the harm of negative gender stereotypes, and about all sexual orientations and what being LGBTQ means. Oklahoma's America First test, nonprofit conservative media company, PragerU, is helping Oklahoma's State Department of Education develop the test. The company previously helped develop the state's new high school history curriculum standards, which includes lessons on how to dissect the results of the 2020 election, including learning about alleged mail-in voter fraud, an unforeseen record number of voters, and security risks of mail-in balloting. The new curriculum also teaches the contested theory that COVID-19 emerged from a lab leak and removed a prior proposal for lessons about George Floyd's murder and Black Lives Matter. These reforms will reset our classrooms back to educating our children without liberal indoctrination, Walters wrote in a post on X on April 29th. We're proud to defend these standards, and we will continue to stand up for honest, pro-America education in every classroom. The state's superintendent said some of the history questions will about American government, how the nation came to be, and its founding documents. Walters said that the test would be finished by August 15th and that it will be available to prospective teachers the week of August 18th. We're very close, he said. Oklahoma schools have become more conservative after Walters took the helm of the state's education department in September 2020, and voters elected him for a second term in November 2022. Along with the changes to the state's history curriculum standards, Walters has ordered public schools to teach the Bible. In June 2024, Bible lessons will not be on the new teacher certification exam, he said. Teachers' union leaders, test will be a huge turn-off to teachers amid serious teacher shortage crisis. Teachers' union leaders decried the new certification test in interviews with USA Today. Randy Weingarten, president of the American Federation of Teachers, said Walters' new test is going to be a huge turn-off to teachers and that it's not going to solve a problem. Teachers in this country are patriotic, and suggesting they're not is insulting, she said. Weingarten went on to criticize Walters for several of his conservative pushes for education in Oklahoma, including Bible lessons and support for a religious charter school, which was blocked by a split Supreme Court vote this May. She called those moves and the implementation of the new test a major distraction. Ryan Walters appears to be trying out for MAGA-in-chief, not educator-in-chief, because everything that he's doing is about the culture wars, not about the reading, writing, and arithmetic, she said. If he wants to be MAGA-in-chief, then go be MAGA-in-chief. But let someone else be educator-in-chief and focus on other things people deserve, which is reading, literacy, and wraparound services, and actual teachers who want to be in Oklahoma. Oklahoma and California teachers union leaders agreed. This is a political stunt to grab attention, said Carrie Elledge, president of the Oklahoma Education Association. All of the mandates coming out of the Department of Education are baseless and are distractions from real issues in Oklahoma. One of those pressing issues is the serious teacher shortage crisis, she said. When political ideology plays into whether or not you can teach in any place, that might be a deterrent to quality educators attempting to get a job. We think it's intentional to make educators fearful and confused. The political climate in Oklahoma has contributed to the teacher shortage, she said, noting there are about 30,000 teachers in Oklahoma who hold state teaching certifications but are not working in classrooms. We believe the political morale is making it scarier to teach, she said. We know our jobs are so much more important, and at the end of the day, it's about the future of our students. The state teachers union told its members in a July 11th letter, which Elledge provided to USA Today, that Walters has no legal authority to vet certified teachers based on political ideology. They say that's because licensing and certification are governed by state statute, not personal opinion or partisan preferences, and state law requires us to recognize out-of-state teaching credentials. The letter references part of the state education code that says it must issue certificates to qualified teachers from other U.S. states and territories if they meet basic requirements, including a criminal background check. The union is also concerned about the state education department's partnership with PragerU because it's not an educational authority and it's partisan, Elledge said. OEA is actively monitoring this and other overreaches. The Oklahoma Education Association letter reads.